Hi, you should subscribe to the Minaris Club. Because the Principal of Saiyans told you to, idiot. Bye.
Yo, what's up guys? This is James, bringing you an updated deck profile for the Android 17 and 18 deck from set 13. I've been really enjoying playing this deck. It's super thematic, it's super fun. It's not the best deck in the world, but it definitely got some good updates with set 14 coming out. We got some mono yellow Android support. It was mostly for the new Super 17 archetype, but we did get some new cards for this deck, so just wanted to do a new profile for you guys so you can see kind of what I'm doing with the deck and what I've been having some success with if you want to mess around with it yourself. Before I get too much into the video, I would like to ask you, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out to help us keep bringing you guys some more casual and rogue strategy content, more themed decks like this. We also got like tier lists, product opening, lots of good stuff on the channel, getting posted all the time. So yeah, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you're new. That would be awesome. And let's get into the video. So, if you don't know what these guys do, I wouldn't be surprised because not that many people play this deck, really. They're Android 17, 18. When they attack, you look at the top 5 cards for your deck, add a mono-yellow Android from among them to your hand, then shuffle. And then they have an alternate awakening ability where if one of your androids is switched to rest mode by a yellow card skill, you can go down to 4, untap 1, draw 1, and awaken. Then on the backside they have kind of a weird permanent. Your mono yellow android battle cards get plus 5k power during your opponent's turn. So that means that they're harder to attack into, essentially. This is never gonna give you offensive power, but it does help keep your board alive during your opponent's turn, helps disincentivize them from attacking your board. It also has an auto when you attack. You can either draw 1, or if you can choose not to, and then play a yellow android card with energy cost 1 from your drop area in rest mode. This is kind of what you're going to end up doing a lot of the time because that ends up giving you more incidental card advantage. And then the activate main lets you choose one of your yellow battle cards, switch to rest mode, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, negate its skills for the turn. The effect doesn't sound very good, but it does end up coming up quite a bit due to some synergies with the rest of the deck. Starting off with the Unison here, this is kind of the linchpin of the deck. You really need to see one of this pretty early. He helps make your deck a lot less clunky. He reduces the combo cost of your androids with a specified combo cost of 1. Buy 1 with the +1. It also gives you a rejuvenate ability, and it lets you switch an android to rest mode to absorb one of your opponent's skill-less battle cards in rest mode and put it under him. So that helps combine with the leader to kind of just have some omni removal there for anything in rest mode. Very good. 1 drops here is Android 16 Mechanical Partner. This is going to be your primary target with your leader attack ability. So when this card is played, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you add up to 1 yellow Android card with energy cost 3 or less, or 1 yellow Unison with specified cost 2, this one, to your hand. And then he also has an auto once per turn when he's played or switched to rest mode by a skill. He switches to active mode and then becomes a blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. So he comes in and becomes a blocker for 1 turn cycle, and if you switch him to rest mode off of one of your abilities, like say with your leader or your Unison, he switches back to active mode, becomes a blocker. It's only once per turn, and then also when you play him, he gets that ability as well. So if you play him off of your leader's effect, you essentially get to play him from your drop in rest mode. He comes back to active, and you dig 5 for an android or a Unison. So you're essentially going up 2 cards every time you swing with the leader here, as long as you're hitting off of this. And we are playing a very heavy Android package to make sure we're always hitting off of this card. Next up, we've got Android 16 going all out. This card is the other engine of the deck. This is a auto once per turn. When it's switched to rest mode with one of your yellow card skills, you switch him to active mode, he becomes a 15k until the end of until the start of your next main phase. And then he also has an activate main, which is the much more important ability, where you can pay a yellow rest mode one of your other yellow androids you have in play, and then search your deck for an android with cost 3 and is skillless from your deck and put it into play. And we are playing a bunch of 30k skillless. We have 6 of them, 3 of each of 17 and 18. Fairly standard lineup. We can play these from our hand or from our deck. We can play them from our deck with this and from our hand with the duo that's coming up in just a second here. And then the last card for the 1-drops is this Android 20 Skill Absorber. I think this card should be a 4 of. It's just super solid. It comes into play, draws a card, and then once per turn, if it's switched to rest mode or played, You can negate the skills of one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less. And this is the only thing in the deck that can really target things that are in active mode, so it's really important that you're able to use this. It got a lot of utility, and I'm always kind of impressed with how much this card does. The only problem with it is it only hits cards 5 or less, and it does not ignore barrier, so not the best, but it's a solid card. Let's get these out of the way here. Alright, next up, we've got our Sibling Strikes. Android 18 Sibling Strike, Android 17 Sibling Strike. These cards do essentially the same thing. They are a 1-cost 5k combo, but remember our Unison, if we +1 it, will let us reduce the combo cost of those in our hand. And then they have essentially a double shot SS Vegeta effect, where when you combo with them, they come into play in rest mode, and then you can't play copies of them for the turn. They're not unique. You just can only play them once per turn, so you can have multiples of these out. You just can't play multiple in the same turn cycle. And they both have the same activate main, where you once per turn pay yellow, switch one of your other androids you control to rest mode, and then you can play an Android 17 or an Android 18 with cost 3 from your hand into play. So the 17 can play an 18 and the 18 can play a 17, but they're essentially the same thing. They can both play a skillless card as long as it's the other twin that's in your hand, and they can also both play this card, which is one of your main boss monsters, 17-18 Demonic Duo. This counts as both a 17 and an 18, so you can play this off of either of these. Deflect dual attack, your leader's yellow. At the end of a battle in which this card is used in a combo, play this card from your drop area. It's nice to be able to kind of cheat this out by comboing it, but you do always have to pay 2 for this, because this does not reduce combo cost of 2, it only reduces combo cost of specified cost of 1. Which is super unfortunate, but definitely something you have to keep in mind when you're playing the deck. It also has some good built-in protection, where if it is put in your drop area by an opponent's, or if it's removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you can choose one of their cards and switch it to rest mode. Any card. You can choose an energy, unison, leader, doesn't matter. It's super good. Really disincentivizes people from removing it. It also has an ability where you can negate an attacking battle card's skills once per turn by switching one of your yellow androids to rest mode, so that is also quite useful. Very strong card. Alright, so this is going to be the cards that we just got from set 14, and these really boost up the deck a lot, I think, from where it was before. The best card we got, easily, was this super combo. Android 17 Mechanical Charity. It's just a vanilla super combo. Your leader's yellow, your life's 4 or less, when you combo, you draw a card. It sounds really unimpressive on the surface, but it fixes a ton of problems the deck used to have, because once you're on the Awakened side, you're really disincentivized from drawing a card, because all you do is draw one card. That's like a set 2 leader effect. It's not the best. What you really want to be doing is you really want to be recurring your Android 16 Mechanical Partner, because he comes into play, it gives you a blocker, and he goes plus if you hit off of him, which you're almost always going to with how many androids we play in the deck. The problem with this is that it meant that you could never draw cards once you were awakened outside of your normal draw step that were not android cards. So when we were playing super combos that weren't androids, it meant we just had to hard draw our super combos every turn, or we wouldn't get to see them. I ended up at the point with the deck where if I opened with a couple of super combos, I would just keep them. They were dead a lot of the game, but like you just have to keep them in your hand because you're just not going to see them otherwise. So that was a huge problem. Now we're pretty much always going to see all 4 super combos every game. It's super good. This card it's just phenomenal for the deck. I'm so glad they finally printed this. It really needed to be printed last set, if I'm being honest. Next card we have up is Android 17 Thwarting the Enemy. This card's neat. It's the fact that it's an android and a negate on a stick means it's another option we can pick up off of our Android 16, so it gives us a lot more heat we can pick up off of this card, not just like a bunch of vanillas or whatever. The fact that you can negate an attack with it for free is really strong. You can also just use it as an old school body negate, where you negate an attack and play it. It comes into play in rest mode, unfortunately, so you can't do the old school tactics of like negate an attack and then use it to combo out of the next attack. But it does have the spirit boost effect where you can play it for free and get a free counter in. Obviously, our deck's pretty heavily unison reliant, so we don't really want to be doing that if we don't have to, but it's better than dying, so I'll take that. And then the last new card we got was This card is so good for the deck. The leader on the front can pick up an android of any cost. This one is cost restricted. It can only get cost 3 or less. So you can't pick it up off this, but if you find it on the Awakened side, you can just pick it up. It's an android trait. It's just super good for the deck. Just, yeah, these 2 cards have really boosted the power of the deck, and this card is just pretty solid too. Yeah, so those are our new additions. They've all been super great. So I'm just super excited to play this deck now with all of these new cards. Boss Monsters 17 and 18, Bringer of the Apocalypse. This card's okay. It's not the best. I feel like about half the time when I play it, I lose because it's just not the right time. Because you do have to tap out for it. It costs 4. It doesn't have barrier. It can negate the battle card skills of all of your opponent's battle card in unisons they have in play until the end of their next turn, but it's only the cards they already have in play, so anything they play during their next turn has that skills. So you don't overestimate how good this is for negating, to help you live a turn. Paying 4 to tap out for it's like kind of dangerous, but it can also help you in a lot of games, which is why I have the 2. I wish it could be tutored off of this. This being cost restricted 3 or less kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This card's okay. Bardock Fighting Against Fate. This card isn't like necessary for the deck. I know it's still pretty expensive even with the reprints. It's just a card I just kind of throw into almost every deck as like a one-of, because it's just kind of a free roll. It's just really good. You could play like a Champa or something instead if you don't have this card, or just like any other overall card. Like a Mass Saiyan would be pretty good too. Although we don't really want to Overwhelm until the turn we're killing is the main thing you want to keep in mind, because we do want to keep our drop filled up to keep our leader effect online. But that's why this card's pretty good, is because you can just kind of drop it on the kill turn. It gives you a little bit of extra gas. Alright, extra cards. 4 Power of a Super Saiyan. This card, you have to play 4 of it, because it's kind of the same problem as what I was talking about earlier with the super combos that we used to have, where you don't really have a way to hard draw extra cards outside of your normal draw step, so you just have to rip them. And you want to see a couple of these every game, because they're just extremely good. Help you get those cards in rest mode to start eating up. 2 Frieza Army Reinforcements is just a solid negate. I think this card's underrated. I know a lot of people are high on Homicidal Clones in the green decks. This is the exact same thing, and this card's really good. So I think it's better than Flying Nimbus right now, for sure. And then we have 3 Vegeta Prideful Transformation as our counterplay staple, and that's the deck right there. It's kind of some small updates from the last set. Not a ton of new cards. Like 4 of it's just swapping out the super combo for 4 new super combos. But those changes make a world of difference. If you tried this deck out before and you liked it, I would definitely recommend trying it again with these new cards, because it's just it makes a world of difference. It's like night and day being able to find your super combo out of the top 5. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Hit us up in the comments section if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. We love hearing from you guys. Yeah, again, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.